With Ruan-Mei out, just sort of Frankensteining her way through life, we now have a character in Honkai Star Rail who aims to become a god. This is sort of similar to the Traveler's purpose in Genshin Impact, whose fate seems to be to ascend to become a god. So with that said, I thought I'd do something that's sure to piss no one off, and compare the Aeons with the Archons. I mean, I say that, but at this point, I'm like 98% sure that the Raiden Shogun mains just believe she's capable of disintegrating the universe by snapping her fingers. You fanatics are quite something. You're devoted, I'll give you that. And while the two aren't really comparable because the scale in Star Rail is a lot bigger than it is in Genshin Impact, it's fun, so let's do it anyway. First, it's important to break down who and what the gods are. So, for the uninitiated, Aeons in Star Rail aren't exactly gods in the way the gods exist in Genshin Impact. You see, an Aeon is almost akin to a personification of an ideal. When Aeons are born, they give rise to a path, not because they tap into the path, but because they almost become the path. So for instance, when Nanook ascended to become an Aeon, he destroyed his entire world in the process, becoming the Aeon of destruction. His nature is to destroy, and that's all he will ever do until he dies. He does not have a choice in the matter, as he has in essence become destruction itself. Himeko likened this lack of free will in regards to Aeons as a curse, but despite being enigmatic beings who rarely interact with mortals, Aeons are described as having the ability to, quote, construct reality, erase stars, and leave their marks on countless worlds. The path they control can be tapped into by anyone whose will is strong enough and aligns with the ideology. When a person does this, they become a path strider. So for instance, to follow the path of destruction, one must be reckless, angry, and have destructive tendencies. However, this is just someone drawing the Aeon's gaze, not the Aeon granting them power. In the very rare case when an Aeon grants mortals power, they become an Emanator. Aeons have differing views on Emanators. Some imbue them with great power, making them far stronger than any Path Strider, and some don't create any. Currently, the only playable Emanator is Herta, which is fucking hilarious given how awful she is. I'm sure she'll get a 5-star version eventually. We know of 18 Aeons that have existed, but currently only 13 are alive, so I'm just gonna list those. Aha, the Aeon of Elation, Fuli of Remembrance, Ho-ha, 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 how do you say this guy's name? Ho-ha! Ho-ho of Equilibrium, Ix of Nihility, Lan of the Hunt, Mythos of Enigmata, Nanook of Destruction, Nos of Erudition, Oribos of Veracity, Qlipoth of Preservation, Terminus of Finality, Zype of Harmony, and Yaoshur of Abundance. This is all vastly different from the gods in Genshin Impact. Well, to start, we need to clarify. Into that, there exists two kinds of gods. There's the gods, and then there's the gods. The gods are pretty much the Archons. They are mere puppets for the ones above, but in their own right are, yeah, they're strong. Yeah, absolutely. Despite being beholden to the heavens, Archons are essentially the apex of the god race, as this position was fought for in a war of the gods known as the Archon War, of which two original gods that fought remain. With their Gnosis, they possess great power over an element. Barbatos can control the wind. Morax has great power over the rocks.
The Wrath of the Rock.
Baal is the lead god when it comes to wielding electricity, and then Boor can grow trees. I'm sorry, do I just stop? Like, I get it. This makes me sound like I got Star Rails just cockatoo down my throat, but guys, it isn't close, man. The Archons in Genshin Impact reside over nations. The Aeons in Star Rail are fundamental parts of the entire universe. Their power is immeasurable. They destroy planets, control reality, create stars. Take Lan, the Aeon of the Hunt, for instance, who once destroyed an entire world with a single arrow from his skybow. As the one who controls the will of transmutation, Qlipoth of Preservation has great responsibility as it pertains to the order of the universe. Fuli of Remembrance is omnipresent for the important happenings of the universe, remembering them so as to prepare for the rebirth. Why do you have so many Z's in your name? Am I having a stroke? Fuck these names, man. Was an Aeon who divided his path, and in turn created the Swarm, which terrorizes the entire universe. The Archons have no such feats, nor such responsibilities that could hope to compare to the Aeons. The Archons' primary responsibilities is to their own nation, which is among many on the continent, which itself is a smaller part of the entire planet. The Archons don't even give people power like the Aeons do. So, is that it? In a war between the Aeons and the Archons, would the Archons just lose without a shadow of a doubt? As the Aeons are just that much more powerful, can they Can they really not be stopped?
Did you forget who I am?
Not just yet. Remember, I said there were two kinds of gods in Teyvat. We've been speaking about the gods so far, but we've yet to utter a mention of the gods. Because there exists at least one being in Teyvat who could even hope to match the power of an Aeon. This is an all-powerful god that has traversed the stars, is capable of terraforming an entire world, and has the power to create other gods so powerful that even the other Archons refer to them as a higher power. It has subjected an entire world to its will, and in a war between the gods of Teyvat and the Aeons, the people of Teyvat need not worry, for this all-powerful deity is one that loves and cherishes them. Insofar as it remains, the war is not over. It is the only one who can hold a candle to an Aeon, and its name is the Primordial One, a progenitor god hailing from beyond the stars. It alone is most similar to an Aeon, a being of unimaginable power. Like most Aeon, it rarely interacts with mortals. I don't think I've ever seen an interaction between the Primordial One and mortals. And like Aeons, is beholden to no singular planet, as it comes from beyond this world. It has seen the true nature of the universe, and as such threw a barrier around all of Teyvat to prevent other beings from the universe entering its world. These are the true feats of a true god. Sadly for the Primordial One, it seems to be the only one in Teyvat. There are at least 13 active Aeons, and a new one can ascend at any given time. There are 6 Archons. I don't even think they left the planet before. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. And they don't have the global ramifications that the Aeons or the Primordial One have. I don't even think the Shades could hope to match them. The scale of things is just so much bigger in Star Rail than it is in Teyvat. And they aren't really comparable. But that's just MiHoYo putting a limit breaker on the world of Genshin Impact, however. As we know, there are countless other planets in an ever-expanding universe. It's just right now our journey is limited to this one. Maybe one day we'll visit the other worlds and get a better grasp at the other cosmic deities that exist, but as it stands right now, the Aeons far surpass whatever we've seen in Teyvat. It is fun to do stuff like this, however, and what, do you not like fun? Dork. However, this makes me wonder about the Traveler, for he himself is from another world, a being from beyond the stars, and if he were to ascend to become a god like his character profile suggests, what kind of god will he become? One that rules the world, or one that rules the universe?